The World Trade Center project was initiated in the early 1960s, largely through the influence of David Rockefeller, with the goal of revitalizing a part of New York City that had fallen into decline. The vision was to use the Trade Center and urban renewal to transform what had become a commercial slum into a thriving hub. The construction of the towers not only introduced a new frontier for business, but also created land on the Hudson River waterfront. The project, developed by the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, was originally planned for the east side of Lower Manhattan. However, disagreements between the New York and New Jersey state governments led to the relocation of the site to the Lower West Side, on the land once occupied by Radio Row. After an extensive search involving dozens of architects, the design for the complex was awarded to architect Minoru Yamasaki of Troy, Michigan, with Emery Roth Sons as associate architects. Yamasaki's design became iconic for its approach to urban renewal and mixed-use development. Known for his preference for primary forms and minimalist ornamentation, Yamasaki's work aimed to meet the functional needs of massive buildings, including both office spaces for large corporations and low-income housing projects. Yamasaki, recognized in 1963 as a prominent architect and featured on the cover of Time magazine, brought a unique sensitivity to materials and forms, even amidst the scale of the towering structures he was designing. While he espoused modernism, his work was not overly harsh or rigid. He favored softer materials like wood, smooth concrete, stainless steel, and anodized aluminum, infusing his buildings with a renewed interest in ornamentation and figurative design. The final design for the World Trade Center, revealed on January 18, 1964, featured two towers with square footprints measuring 207 feet on each side. The tower's narrow windows, only 18 inches wide, reflected Yamasaki's fear of heights and desire to provide a sense of security for those working inside. The windows covered just 30% of the building's facades, giving the towers a sleek metallic appearance from a distance, a result of both the design choice and the structural systems that supported them. The tower's exteriors were sheathed in aluminum alloy. Despite its grand ambition, the design faced criticism. The American Institute of Architects and urban planning experts like Lewis Mumford derided the project, with Mumford referring to it as just glass and metal filing cabinets. Nonetheless, the construction of the towers moved forward, becoming a feat of municipal-scale engineering. To make way for the complex, 5 streets were closed, and the site was cleared to provide 16 acres of space. 2 subway lines continued operation during the site's excavation, a remarkable engineering challenge. Construction began in 1965, with the groundbreaking ceremony held on August 5, 1966. The towers were completed and occupied in stages, with Tower 1 opening in 1970 and Tower 2 in 1972. The final complex, spanning 7 buildings, contributed over 10 million square feet of office space to Lower Manhattan, along with hotels, retail spaces, and a bustling transportation hub. The construction posed significant engineering challenges, particularly with the foundations, which were dug down to bedrock an average of 70 feet. The use of slurry walls, a technique not previously employed in the US, was critical to stabilizing the site and allowing construction to continue around existing subway lines. The excavation process created 23.5 acres of new land along the Hudson River. The construction of the towers required vast amounts of materials, including 192,000 tons of steel, 425,000 cubic yards of concrete, 43,600 windows, with 572,000 square feet of glass, and 1.1 million square feet of aluminum sheeting. The project provided continuous employment for over 3,500 workers on site and involved a total of 10,000 individuals. Tragically, 60 workers lost their lives during construction. During their operation, the towers became iconic, housing 50,000 employees and attracting tens of thousands of visitors. They also saw remarkable and tragic events, including the birth of 17 babies and the deaths of 19 individuals. In 1993, terrorists attacked the towers, detonating a bomb in the underground garage. The explosion caused significant damage to several floors but did not collapse the buildings, although it killed 6 people. On September 11, 2001, the towers were tragically destroyed when terrorists hijacked 2 planes and crashed them into the buildings, causing their eventual collapse. Each tower was struck at a different height, and the damage caused a progressive collapse unique to each building. Ultimately, both towers fell in a near freefall collapse, marking one of the most devastating events in modern history.